Athlon breaks down the returning starters for each and every Big Ten's football team going into the 2023 season. And Mike Gundy with Barry Tramel says Big 12 expansion is still likely with Pac-12 schools. Welcome to episode 177 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash that like button. Share the video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any more time. Let's first go to the Athlon story. Breaking down the Big Ten returner, Athlon Sports, Big Ten football. Which teams return the most starters, production, and talent for 2023? Michigan is loaded for another Big Ten title run in 2023 from Steven Lasson, again from Athlon. Spring football is in full swing across college football, and while the early workouts won't tell us a ton about how the teams stack up for 2023, it does give us our first insight into the rosters and depth charts for all 133 programs. With rosters mostly finalized for the upcoming season, every team's returning starters, talent, and production coming back should be known for 2023. With transfers and full recruiting class not all arriving until the fall, the spring workouts are only a partial glimpse at how teams will officially look for the upcoming season. However, this data will tell us quite a bit about all the teams in the Big Ten. As you know, PATC, we love spring college football. College football, baby, with a tight race expected at the top of both divisions. What does the data on the returning starters, production, and transfers and talent tell us what's to come this fall? Let's dive into the numbers. Big Ten, which teams return the most starters, production, and talent for 2023? These are the returning starters. Now, we don't go through the whole article here at Peek Around the Corner. We'll put a link in the description box and you can read the whole thing. But as you can see, the returning starters here in the first top of the list, you got Michigan State at 14, Illinois 13, Iowa 13, and you've got Indiana 8 at the lowest number in that first list. Here's Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, Wisconsin. Wisconsin has 17 returning starters. Nebraska 16. Penn State Nittany Lions 14. And then you got Northwestern there with 7 returning starters. Returning production. Returning offensive production. Returning defensive production. Again, top of the list. You've got Michigan with 84% of their production on the offensive side returning and 78% returning on defense. The low number on defense there is interesting, is the Iowa Hawkeyes at 49%. Again, you can take a bigger look when you read the article. Northwestern here for offense is at a low 46. On defense, Purdue is at a low here with 59. And again, Rutgers, Wisconsin at 73 and 75% return in offensive production on the offensive side of the ball. Analysts and takeaways. Illinois nearly won the Big Ten West last season. While Coach Brett Bielema's squad brings back a solid core 13 starters, there are significant holes to address. One of the nation's top defenses must replace a couple of the standout pieces in the secondary, including Devon Witherspoon and Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown, man. The Fighting Illini bring back 64% production on offense, but quarterback Tommy DeVito and running back Chase Brown are gone. 2 huge holes to fill. Iowa returns the lowest percentage of defensive production. However, despite some hefty losses, defense won't be the primary concern for Kirk Ferentz. Instead, an offense that brings back 8 starters and made a couple of key portal additions, namely former Michigan quarterback Cade McNamara, must show marked improvement to save coordinator Brian Ferentz's job and get the Hawkeyes back to the Big Ten title game. Maryland is coming off its best season under Mike Locksley, 8-5, but taking the next step will require 4 new starters to emerge along the offensive line after guard Mason Lunsford transfer this offseason. The Terrapins' 9 returning starters ranked 12th among the most for Big Ten teams. Is it a three-peat coming to Ann Arbor? Michigan should be the preseason favorite in the Big Ten after winning back-to-back titles. And the data certainly backs that up as the Wolverines return the highest percentage of offense and defensive production in the conference. Again, Michigan is absolutely stacked. With 7 starters and a returning production rate of 80%, Michigan State's offense should take a step forward and help the program get back to a bowl in 2023 after a disappointing 5-7 mark last year. On the other side, the Spartans ranked number 13 in defense production, 56% returning. However, the returning starters, 7, provide a solid group for Coach Mel Tucker to build around. The secondary, a source of major concern in the last 2 years, will require some retooling. That secondary has been brutal for the Spartans the last 2 seasons. They have to improve that unit. New Nebraska coach Matt Rule inherits the second most returning starters, 16, of any team in the Big Ten. Also, the Cornhuskers have fared well in the transfer portal by reeling in a couple of impact players on both sides of the ball, including quarterback Jeff Sims and former Georgia tight end Eric Gilbert. Rule's rebuilding efforts at Temple and Baylor started slow, but Nebraska's returning production and starters from 2022 show a path to a first-year jump this fall. That is music to the Cornhuskers' ears. Northwestern is just 9-25 in the Big Ten play over the last 4 years, and the returning starter and production percentages indicate 2023 will be another work in progress for Coach Pat Fitzgerald. The program's 7 returning starters are the fewest in the Big Ten. The defense production is 46%, ranks number 14th in the conference. The returning production numbers are a mixed bag for Ohio State. It's no secret the Buckeyes have a question mark under center with C.J. Stroud off to the NFL, but the offensive line also must be overhauled with 3 starters gone. Those departures are a big reason why Coach Ryan Day's team ranks number 12 in the Big Ten in returning offensive production, 57%. However, the defense ranks number 2 in conference, 77% in returning production. Will this unit make a jump in coordinator Jim Knowles' second year? Penn State, PATC's pick to win the Big Ten championship this year. Penn State is tied 14 with Michigan State for the most returning starters in the Big Ten East Division. Challenging Michigan or Ohio State for the top spot in the division won't be easy for Coach James Franklin's team, but with the rising stars and quarterback Drew Aller and the running back sensation Nicholas Singleton, plus 13 other starters back, a spot in the preseason top 10 and playoff aspirations are realistic goals in Happy Valley. We agree here at PATC. How new coach Ryan Walters rebuilds a Purdue defense with just 4 returning starters and a low returning production, 59%, is an intriguing storyline for 2023. But the biggest questions in West Lafayette come on offense. Although the Boilermakers returned 71% production, quarterback Aiden O'Connell, receiver Charlie Jones, and tight end Payne Durham, the backbone of last year's Big Ten West Division champions, have departed. Outside of Michigan, Rutgers is the only team to top 70% of the return in offense and defensive production for 2023. Hopes for a bold and a winning season for the Scarlet Knights hinge on how far new coordinator Kirk Shiraka can develop quarterback Gavin Wimsatt. And as we said here, peek around the corner, we are very optimistic that Kirk Shiraka can develop Gavin Wimsatt. It's a storyline we are fascinated to watch here at Peek Around the Corner. And then finally, or not finally, transitioning to a new coach and schemes on both sides of the ball is challenging, but Wisconsin should be the preseason favorite in the Big Ten West. we have them as well. Peek around the corner. The favorites to win the title in the Big Ten West for 2023. The Badgers return the most starters in the conference, 17. And rank high in the conference, offense and defense returning production. Also, new coach Luke Fickell's transfer haul ranks among the best in all of college football. As of late March, Indiana 15 has reeled in the most transfers of any team in the Big Ten. The Hoosiers return only 2 starters on defense, but ESPN's returning production metric places them with 72% coming back for 2023. Can the formula of what's coming back, plus a plethora of transfer portal additions, get Indiana back in the mix for a bowl? And then finally, my beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers were already set to replace All-American center John Michael Schmitz, running back Mohamed Ibrahim, linebacker Sarah Moran, and safety Jordan Howden. However, the Golden Gophers have lost a couple of potential contributors and starters to the portal in March. Receiver Michael Brown Stevens, 21 career starts, and Dylan Wright, running back Trey Potts, lineman Trill Carter, 13 starts in 2022, have all departed the team recently. Those departures dropped the team to just 10 returning starters. My goodness. So that's the breakdown from Athlon for the Big Ten West, Big Ten East teams. Put down your comments, your thoughts of what you think is going to happen in the Big Ten going into 2023. We got the Nittany Lions winning the conference this year. Are we crazy, or are we crazy like a fox? And my beloved Golden Gophers taking hit after hit after hit during March. Hopefully they can get back in the transfer portal and get some depth on the defensive side of the ball. Wow. Let's get into Barry Tramel, Scissor Tails, why Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy says Big Ten expansion still likely. This is from Barry Tramel from the Oklahoman. Big 12 football will go through a transition season in 2023 with 14 members. Then Oklahoma and Texas head to the Southeastern Conference. But that doesn't necessarily mean the Big 12 will be back to its original number of 12 members. Mike Gundy still thinks further expansion is coming. I asked Gundy on Monday about the Big 12 scheduling model going forward, and he doesn't know much more than the rest of us, but he does say this: I don't know what they're going to do because I think they're going to bring more schools in. And it could happen pretty fast, right? Gundy said with Pac-12, that's the money shot of this article, it could happen pretty fast with Pac-12. The Big 12's recruitment of Pac-12 schools is not a secret. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark has repeatedly said he wants to stretch the conference into the West, and the Pac-12 is the clear target. After that league's vulnerability in the wake of the UCLA and Southern Cal exodus to the Big Ten scheduled for 2024, and if the Big 12 is at 12 members in 2024, a scheduling model must be adopted. I don't know if they really know or what they want to commit to right now because they're unsure what the total number of schools will be, Gundy said. If potential expansion comes after 2024, the Big 12 could be faced with a change in format for 4 straight years. So is that the holdup for the Big 12 scheduling? Trying to cement a scheduling format because they don't even know how many schools they're going to have in the conference for 2024? Is that the same reason with the Big 10? Is that what's going on throughout the college conferences with the scheduling? They don't even know how many schools exactly they're going to be in their conference in 2024. That's probably playing a big part in it. Mike Gundy, he said it in public once again, still likely that the Big 12 will have further expansion in realignment in this cycle. Put down your comments and thoughts. Do you agree with Mike Gundy? Disagree with Mike Gundy? Does potential expansion have anything to do with these conferences keep pushing back on cementing their future football schedules? Well, stay with us here at Peek Around the Corner as we follow this story and so many others as we get into spring football. We had a breakdown of the Big Ten returning starters. We're going to do more of that in the other Power 5 conference as the days and weeks come flying at us as we get closer and closer to the 2023 college football season. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please, you all take good care of each other. Thank you so very much.